Hey guys, I hope you are all doing okay. I don't have a script ready for this video, so I'm sorry if it's a bit rambly, but I will do my best to edit it down so it's not unbearable to watch. Also, this is just gonna be a talking video, so feel free to put me on in the background, or if you're not into that, just skip this one. But basically, I wanted to start vlogging again soon. Probably not for, maybe not until the beginning of next month, but pretty much so much has happened since the last time I vlogged. I figured it would make more sense to do a quick update video instead of spending a good chunk of time at the beginning of my next vlog letting you guys know what's been up. So I wrote down some bullet points to make sure I don't forget anything. I think I'm just going to start the furthest back. I'm not sure if I actually have these in order or not. But basically, right after Thanksgiving, right before Christmas, our car's steering went out, which we thought it was going to be okay for a bit because Bo had mostly fixed it, but then he tried to fix it the rest of the way and made it worse. And it was a really old car. It was the Jeep that he's had since high school, so it was really old, and it's had a lot of issues in the past. And we were actually saving up to get a new car, but we had expected to have another 6 months or so before doing that. And we decided, instead of spending a bunch of money trying to get the Jeep fixed, that we would go ahead and start trying to find a car, which we needed to do as soon as possible because obviously Bo needed to go to work. So we ended up buying a car earlier than expected. We also got a older one. We planned on saving up pretty hardcore so we could get a 2017. We ended up getting a 2015, which is fine. So we need to do that as quick as possible. This isn't sponsored, but we did go through Carvana, so they delivered it to us and everything. We also bought it, I guess it was on Cyber Monday. We bought it on Cyber Monday, so it was $1,000 off, which was a huge help. Bo had to take Ubers for a week, so we spent over $100 on Ubers, which sucked because we were kind of tight on money at the time. I mean, obviously we had some money put back in savings, but yeah, we ended up taking a big chunk of money out of our savings, and I went over our budget pretty hardcore to find the money to pay for a car payment every month, which, I mean, everything worked out. We still need to get rid of the Jeep, but we have a new car now, which is amazing. I have never had a car this new before, and Bo hasn't either. And it's just really nice to have a car that's heating and air conditioning works properly and doesn't make any weird sounds when you're driving and doesn't shake aggressively on the highway. I don't know, it's really nice. But pretty much right after that, this was also one of the things that was stressful about not having a car, is Bo had a job interview he needed to get to. Luckily, a friend of his from work let him borrow their car, but he actually ended up getting the job, which is great because it paid a little bit more and will definitely help with the car payments because we just barely had enough to pay for it. So Bo got a new job, got a new car, and we went from being completely stressed out to everything being great in the span of 2 weeks. It was really stressful, but yeah, it's nice now. But besides that, after all of that stress died down, sorry the gate again, I guess people are getting off work and coming home. But after all the stress of that died down, we found a tumor on Millie's shoulder, which don't worry, it's not cancerous, but it was already kind of big on his shoulder from what we could see. It turns out when we took him to the vet, it was much bigger underneath his skin, which is scary. But we took him into the vet to have the tumor looked at, and he basically said it's not life-threatening, and he's very old. He's almost 7 years old. His birthday's in March. So it was pretty much up to us whether we decided to get the surgery or just deal with the tumor for the rest of his life. But it was pretty gross, and I was cleaning it around 5 times a day at this point because we had it covered with a gauze, but stuff came out of it. It was really gross. So basically it was a choice of whether we wanted to do it or not. There wasn't going to be anything, it wasn't life-threatening if we didn't do it. But so we took like a couple weeks to think about it, but Millie had started sleeping almost constantly, which I mean isn't unheard of with a ferret that old, but he was sleeping a lot, he just wasn't acting himself, and he seemed pretty sad. His shoulder was definitely bothering him. He didn't want to walk for long periods of time. So we ended up deciding to go ahead and go through the surgery because even though there was a chance that he wouldn't make it, he wasn't happy, and it just didn't seem right to make him suffer through having a tumor for the rest of his life. So we decided to go ahead and take the chance and get the surgery, which if you follow me on Instagram or Patreon stuff, I was really nervous, and it made it really hard to focus on work, so I was actually got quite behind on work. What, kitty? But he had the surgery. Sorry. Kitty. Xavier, stop. Sorry, I had to stop recording. Xavier would not leave the camera alone. So the surgery went good. It lasted about an hour, and then we got to go pick him up around 11 o'clock in the afternoon, and then he came home and he stayed cuddled up in a blanket for pretty much the rest of the night, sitting right over here on the floor next to me while I worked. And he was pretty much back to himself by the next day, and yeah, he's been doing really great. He's been up and about, moving more than he had before. Before his surgery, he literally only went between his cage and our bed, which are like 5 or 6 feet apart from each other. So he would get up, get out of his cage, and go straight to sleeping in our bed and just stay there for most of the day, only getting up to like eat or go to the bathroom. But he's trying to explore more of the whole living area. Now he still hasn't came in here on his own, but that's okay. His shoulder does seem to be a bit sore. His surgery was like 10 days ago right now. His staples come out on Monday, which is 4 days from now. I'm really excited. They seem to be really itchy. I've been trying to, he's wearing a sock over it so he doesn't pull at them. I've been trying to give him some time outside of the sock, but it's hard because he wants to scratch at his staples, which I can understand. They do seem like they would be uncomfortable, but I'm really excited for those to come out. It's really nice to see him acting more himself. He seems more alert. He's walking around. I'm really happy it went well, especially with how old he was. It was really scary. Besides that, with Japanese, not much has really changed. I'm still using Wanikani. I'm up to level 21 now, which is really cool. Still really behind in my grammar and listening skills, but I have a book on the way. It's supposed to be here in the next couple of days that is full of short stories, and it has kanji and vocabulary breakdowns, I think, and also has an English translation of the story. So I'm going to do my best to start reading through that when I have time. I also finished the book No Longer Human. I can't remember the author, but that book was really interesting. I definitely recommend it if you're into like internal thoughts of people and also like maybe depressing shit. But I really enjoyed it. It was a good book. I think that's the last thing, besides the fact that you saw this. I mentioned this in my last video was completely about it, but I also bought an iPad right here. But yeah, I bought an iPad, which I had been talking to Bo about pretty much constantly for the last several months, talking about how badly I wanted one. And eventually we just kind of decided to go ahead and do it. I looked into doing the payment plan and stuff, but my credit wasn't good enough. That's one of my goals for this year, is to improve my credit. I don't have bad credit or anything. I've only ever had one loan, and it was to buy a car, and I paid it off like within like a couple months. So like I don't really have much credit to go on, especially since that was like 6 or 7 years ago. But yeah, I have an iPad now and I am loving it. I'm using Procreate like all the time. I've been doing a lot of figure drawings and a lot of like sketches. And I haven't done very many finished things. I did the Tune Me challenge that was going around on Instagram and Twitter. I worked on this month's sticker design for Patreon is also done on there. I can actually go ahead and pull that up for you. It's a cat skull. I've been meaning to do one of those for a while. And yeah, in general I'm just really enjoying it. It's really nice. And I still feel a little weird about spending all the money for it. I think in total I spent a little over $500 total, because of course I got the pen too. It's the 7th generation iPad. It's not an iPad Pro, it's just a regular iPad. And yeah, I really, really enjoy it. But that's all I have to update you guys on. Sorry if you found this boring. That's also probably annoying. Better. I just wanted to get all of this out before starting vlogging. I probably won't be able to start vlogging at least until after Millie's staples are out, and maybe a little bit after that. I'm not sure. I definitely want to start again. If you are interested in Patreon, I have been posting more stuff on Lens lately, because Lens works a lot better on the iPad and the audio is better, so it's easier for me to record talking and stuff. So if you're into that, all tiers get access to a Lens that's only $1 a month. I'm also going to start posting more of the Procreate speed paints on Patreon, because I don't know what else I would be doing with them. And yeah, I will see you soon for a vlog, hopefully, and I also have lots of other videos that need editing and posting, and I hope you're having a good February, and I will see you soon. Bye.